以下是耶稣针对奇迹正文第6章爱的课题第1节十字架的讯息。在看完奇迹正文第6章第1节之后，再来聆听。You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. 你确实是有福之人，我是你所知的耶稣。Most of your fears are based upon this idea of impending death.If you follow your fear through to the logical end, there will be this punctuation point at the end, which will be death. 大部分的人恐惧都是基于死亡将临头这个观念。如果你跟随恐惧的念头，抵达它理所当然的终点，你会发现其尽头就是死亡。So, for example, if...Somebody does not give you what you want. You say, I will suffer without this, and if I don't get this, then it will lead to that, and it will lead to that. 比如说，如果某人没有给予你你想要的东西，你会说，没有它我将会受苦。我若没有得到它，就会有什么样的结果？And if you follow the thought process right through, usually it comes to death at the end, which seems very dramatic. And most of you are unaware of it, but that really is the case. 如果你循着这条思路，通常它的结局就是死亡。这听起来非常戏剧化，且大部分的人并没有察觉到它。然而事实便是如此。Because after all, why do you fight so vehemently for your opinion? If somebody disagrees with you, there is something in you that believes your life depends on it.因为终究来说，你为何如此激烈地捍卫你的意见？如果你的捍卫是因为某人不认同你，这表示你内有某个信念认为，你的人生有赖于他人的认同。And this is something that is being cultivated and strengthened in your society at this time.Encouraging you to fight, encouraging you to focus on death, because this is your weakest place. This is your weakest place. 这是你此时在身处的社会中被教育及强化的观念，鼓励你斗争，鼓励你聚焦于死亡，因为这是你的弱点，这是你最脆弱的地方。And what we would like you to do is understand that you can never die. You are an eternal spiritual being. 因此，我们希望你了解的是，你从来不会死亡，你是永恒的灵性生命。It's very important that you begin to think of yourself in this way, because then you begin to see that the movie that is playing out in front of you is a drama in which characters seem to die. 你务必开始以这种眼光看待自己，这样你才会开始看出你眼前上映的电影乃是一场戏剧，剧中的人物只是看似死亡。But the truth of matter is that they do not any more than they do in a movie.其实剧中的人物并没有死，他跟你在看电影的情况一模一样。For that say you are sitting watching a movie at the theater, the lights are turned down and everything is quiet, so that reality does not impinge upon the fantasy. 当你在电影院看电影时，里面灯光昏暗， 周遭一片安静，好让真相不会干扰幻想。And this is what we want you to understand. This is exactly what you all do. You turn down reality with voice for God, love, unity consciousness. That is your reality. 这是我们希望你了解的一点，你们大家正在做这样的事。你关闭了上主天音传递给你的真相，关闭了爱与一体意识的真相。You turn down reality and you make everything dark so that you are not distracted by reality and you can become fully immersed in the movie of your life. 你关掉这个真相，好让一切看起来昏暗，这样你才不会被真相转移注意力，你才可以全然的沉浸在你人生的电影中。And that is what you are all doing. You are all immersed in the movie of your life. And when you are at the movie theater, what happens? You believe that the characters die and you cry. 这正是你们大家正在做的事，你们都沉浸在自己人生的电影中。当你在电影院时，你会相信剧中的人物死了。You feel all those emotions even though you know that it is a movie. You know that that character hasn't died, but what you have done is that you have turned down reality to such a degree that the fantasy of the movie now has become predominant in your mind. 你充分地感受到自己的情绪，即使你知道那是一场电影，你知道那个演员并没有死，然而你所做的是，你将真相关闭到某种程度，使得电影的幻想在你心中占有主要的地位。And that is exactly what the constant and unrelenting pushing of death, destruction, fear is doing to you in your own society right now. The movie of death, destruction, and fear has become so predominant in your minds that you have forgotten what reality is. 这正是此时你们社会持续不断地推出死亡、毁灭和恐惧等戏码对你所造成的影响。这类戏码已经在你心中具有主导的地位，因此你忘记了真相是什么。And so that is what A Course in Miracles is for. It is to remind you of reality because you have forgotten. You have forgotten reality because you choose to come into this place. 奇迹课程的目的正是要提醒你真相，因为你已经忘记了。当你选择来到此地 You choose to follow your idols. You choose to come in separation. This is something that you want. This experience of separation is something that you want. And that is okay. It doesn't matter that you want it. 当你选择来到此地，选择追寻你的偶像，选择进入分裂之境时，你已经忘记了真相。分裂之境是你想要的体验，而这是没有关系的。你想要这种体验是无妨的。But we want you to understand that balancing the experience you have of separation with the truth of reality behind that movie is very, very important for your peace of mind. 但我们希望你了解的是，用电影背后的真相来平衡一下你所经历的分裂之境是极其重要的，这样你才能享有内心的平安。And unless you do that, unless you balance the story of the movie that's playing out in front of you with a strong and regular spiritual practice and prayer practice and meditation practice, you will be in the movie theater completely oblivious of your true reality and your true nature.除非你这样做，除非你用一种强大且规律的心灵锻炼，以及祷告和冥想来平衡你眼前所上演的电影剧情，否则你在电影院中会彻底遗忘你的真相及你的本质。And so that is what the crucifixion was about. The crucifixion is the movie. The crucifixion is the movie, the hero dying.That a say， 这正是十字架所要传达的讯息。十字架是一场电影，在这场电影中，英雄死去。And that is what the church has based its teaching on. 这正是教会的教诲所根据的故事。And that teaching has convinced you that I did not know what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing, and at any point, I could have ended that experience. 这种教诲使你相信我不知道自己在做什么，事实上，我很清楚自己在做什么，且我可以随时结束那场体验。But my time here on earth was done, and I had taught what I could teach to those around me, and it was time then for me to move on to my next experience of consciousness expansion. 然而，我在地球的时间已经到了，我已经教导了身边的人，我所能教导的。是时候，我该往前走，进入下一段意识扩展的体验。And I hung around on the earth plane for a few years after that intermittently. I was not on the earth plane full time after the crucifixion, although I did and was resurrected. But the call to consciousness expansion became greater and greater than my ministry on earth. 在那之后的几年里，我间歇地在世间逗留。十字架事件之后，我并没有全然地待在世间。虽然我确实复活了，但是意识扩展的召唤远大于我在世间传道的任务。And so I moved on from the earth plane into another level, another dimension of consciousness. 因此我离开这个世间而进入下一个层次，进入另一个次元的意识。Now what's happening right now on your planet is that you are being called to another level of consciousness.And it is so important for you to understand that you must counter the movie that you are watching with this teaching and these practices. 此时你们星球上正在发生的是，你受到了召唤，要你进入另一个意识的层次，因此你务必了解，你必须用这项心灵锻炼的教导来抵消你所看到的电影。And your forgiveness practice and your stepping back from judgment and your implementing forgiveness as often as possible is going to bring you relief from believing the movie. 你若能宽恕练习，你若能尽可能频繁地放下批判而例行宽恕，那么你将得到解脱，你不会再相信电影的故事。Now you understand this phrase, being in the world but not of the world. And that is what we are cultivating here, your ability to see what's going on in the world, but a distance between your mind and the movie that you're watching. 现在你已经了解活在世间但不属于世间这句话的意涵，这正是我们在此教导的观念。换言之，你有能力看清世界的真实情况，但是你的内心与你眼前上演的电影之间有着一段距离。If a movie that you are watching becomes too disturbing, and that is very common these days because of the violence and the evil in those movies. 如果你看的电影开始对你造成太多的干扰，这是当前普遍的情况，因为电影中有着暴力与邪恶的剧情。We want your mind to say to yourself as you realize, this movie is not any fun anymore. I'm not enjoying this. It is at that point that you say to yourself, all right, I'm in a movie theater. There's another reality other than this. I'm going to, if not get up and walk out on this movie, I'm at least going to tell myself, it is a movie. 那么我们希望你明白后，在内心告诉自己，这个电影不再有趣，我不喜欢看。唯有如此，你才会进一步告诉自己，好吧，我在电影院里还有另一个真相存在，这个故事并非真相。如果我不起身离开这个电影院，至少我要告诉自己，这是一场电影。So this is the time in your world's history. We want you to tell yourself today that you are watching a movie. If the movie is getting too violent, or too negative for you, or too scary for you, or you are becoming too emotionally involved in the movie, it is time to tell yourself it is a movie, and to remember that there is a reality outside of the theater. 在你们世界的历史中，现在是看清真相的时候了。我们希望你今天告诉自己，你正在观看一部电影。如果剧情变得太过暴力，或是太过负面、太过吓人，或是你的情绪过度的摄入剧情中，那么现在是时候告诉自己，它是一场电影，并且记得在电影之外有着真相存在。And because you are doing a course in miracles and you are practicing forgiveness, you can remember that as you are watching the movie. And in fact, you may at some point decide to stop watching the movie, but that is for another time.We will discuss that option. 由于你正在学习奇迹课程，你正在练习宽恕，所以当你在看电影时，你会记得上面的话。事实上，到了某个时候，你可能决定不再看电影。然而，这个选项留待改天再讨论。I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again soon. 我是你所知的耶稣，我们很快再续。